Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dateable, a show all about modern dating, where we investigate the ins and outs of modern dating and why people do the things that they do, say the things that they say. And now we're going to crack the code on how to deal with these behaviors.
How to do the things, all the things.
Which is what our big announcement was last week as well. We are launching a Finding Your Person program, and we feel like we've really cracked the code on how to navigate the dating scene to make sure that you are prepped and ready to find your person, only if you want to, right? And we opened up a link last week for early bird registration. We'll give a little bit more details about it later in this intro, but we just want to tease it out for now because big things are coming because we're about to open up the registration link.
Yes. So sorry to everyone whose hopes got up that UA and I were engaged. That will be our next best big announcement. But this is a pretty big announcement because this probably actually directly helps you a little more than even if that announcement was true. So we are super excited. We keep seeing people like even just pop up in the Facebook group of people that have been with the sounding board for a while that are like, I'm finally putting this all into motion and meeting my person. We had one of our members that did such a great job organizing too. We'll give a shout out to Yen. She wrote something about just how she had like something she wanted people's second opinions on, and being with the community and being ingrained in Dateable helped her really get that clarity and come out. So we're really hoping this program can really streamline all the stuff we've learned in the last 5 years, and also some of the stuff we've learned by doing the sounding board, so it can just be even more efficient for you. It took UA and I 5 years to get through this. We're hoping you guys can get through this in 6 weeks is kind of what the outline is for it. So I think this is our best content to date. Like, I feel super good about what we're putting out in the universe. And I think the fact that UA and I love hearing these stories. We saw another post that went up. Shout out to Jim, just even saying like how through Dateable, he's listened and re-listened to episodes over and over again. And it got him from going through a heavy divorce to now finding his person. So this is why we do what we do, essentially.
And this is the perfect time to launch this program because for those of you who celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival or observe the holiday, today we're actually recording it on this actual holiday. And this day is very symbolic of new beginnings. It's supposed to celebrate the end of summer, the beginning of fall, but also new beginnings, right? Like the everything is anew. We can start over fresh. And also it celebrates the moon. This is the day where the moon is brightest and fullest. And so it's very symbolic visually that way as well. I love this festival because we get to eat mooncakes. I'm going to see my parents today. We're going to gather. It's all about reunions, but also giving thanks. It's almost like the Chinese Thanksgiving in some ways. But a lot of people get married on this day. It's a very auspicious day for that because it's supposed to symbolize a day of full harmony. You know, if you think about the moon and the circle, it's infinite and it's a complete circle. So I'm really stoked about the fact that we're launching this program right around Mid-Autumn Festival.
You know what else? I didn't even connect the dots until right now. It was just Jewish Rosh Hashanah, which is the new year. So I feel like for both of us, it's the start of something new, the next chapter. And that is what we're putting out of the universe also.
And so many of you have DM'd us telling us that you're ready for something new, something fresh, to start from the beginning and to have a different approach to dating and navigating the dating scene. So we are delivering exactly what you've been asking for. It's this mental, physical, holistic reset to finding your person.
The adventure of finding your person. I have just this vision of like this journey map of, you know, different stages of it. Like, hey, you might get ghosted, but it's okay. You know, we're going to make it.
Yeah, it's a detour, but then you're back on track.
It's a detour. It's like Candyland. You remember that game?
Or
Chutes and Ladders. It's like Chutes and Ladders. You like go down one bad path and then you're back onto a good path, and things can change damn fast in modern dating. That's what I think I've learned that's kind of kept me hopeful along the way is one day you can be, I mean, I feel like for me even, like one day I was like single, the next day I'm like, wow, I'm in a relationship. Like, how did this happen?
Right. Life takes all kinds of twists and turns, and we've been learning this in the last week too. Because if you've been following us on social media and in our Facebook group, we received some really bad news that one of our previous guests has passed away. Her name is Kate Horowitz, and she was part of our first episode about polyamory, which opened up a whole discussion of all of the non-monogamous lifestyles you could be living and relationships you could be having. And thanks to her and her then husband, Ben, for opening our eyes to this other community that's very strong. And she has subsequently been in 3 other episodes. She's the one that invited us to the sex party that she and her husband put on. And we're just forever grateful to having the honor of knowing Kate and having her in our lives and having her be part of the Dateable community.
Yeah, I mean, I was able, since you're obviously not local anymore, I went to her celebration of life party over the weekend, which, you know, I'm really glad I went. It was nice to hear people that were very close to her speak on her behalf. And, you know, I think the themes that came up over and over again were things that I've definitely even witnessed, that we've witnessed, is just, you know, this like zest about her, like this like burning ambition and desire to change like what people's views are. And I think to normalize sex and to normalize alternative arrangements. And, you know, I think there's something that's been always so inspirational about her, is that she did what she wanted to do, and she helped people that also wanted to, you know, change the way that they approached relationships and non-monogamy. And I think even for the most monogamous of us, what she's taught me is you create the relationship you want.
Yes.
You don't need to do what your parents did or your grandparents did or what society tells you to do. Like, you and your partner or partners can decide what works for you. And I think that's the biggest lesson I've taken on. And just like, I love just how fiercely unapologetic she was. And I think that's something that, you know, I will honor about her and take into our day-to-day interactions.
What I love most about Kate is the fact that she was never judgmental of anybody who sort of looked at her in a way that was like, why do you have this kind of lifestyle? Question her. Even when we first had her on the show, you and I asked so many questions.
Dumb questions. Yeah.
Because this was our first time being exposed to this sort of lifestyle. And she was so open and compassionate and welcoming. And for anybody, she's not like the type of person who's like, well, if you don't live a non-monogamous lifestyle, you're doing it wrong. She's always been like, you carve your own path. And she completely carved her own path and lived her life the way she wanted it to. So we celebrate Kate, and we're deeply saddened by the news. And we send our condolences to Ben and the family. But we're just really grateful that we had a chance to meet her and have her in our lives.
Absolutely. And we will continue to do our part to bring on this legacy of, you know, normalizing do what you want. I think that's the way that we'll say it. We're not going to claim to be poly experts, but we will continue to have poly voices to make that heard. But also, just like we were saying, everyone can bring this into their lives, no matter if they think monogamy is dead or they believe in the one. It doesn't matter.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Kate. Thank you.
You know, just recapping the amazing week we had last week with the Dateable fam in town. We'll turn it into a positive note. I think that is definitely something, you know, the fam did not disappoint IRL. I think that is something that I think is, I mean, everyone kind of matched what I was expecting also, but if anything, we're better IRL. I think the vibrancy of people come through even more than in video. And I think it's a reminder too, which kind of gets into this episode of this week, is attraction. I'm so excited to have Paul Eastwick on this episode with us. I did a podcast with him for the California Groundbreakers, told UA immediately after we need to get him on because he he studies attraction. He has an attraction lab. Like, how freaking
what a cool
cool
job
is that? Yes. And I think like we talk about it in the episode too. It's like the way dating apps are designed go against like common methodologies of being attracted to someone, and judging on video and photos. Like it has a lot of limitations. Not saying that it can't work. We obviously know many people that are in relationships from dating apps, including myself. So it definitely can work, but you need to use apps to your advantage and not get sucked into the dynamics of apps. And I think even seeing our community members IRL was another like data point to me that people just carry themselves so differently in real life.
And I loved our meetup, and yes, everybody sort of matched up to what we thought they would be, but also there were so many different nuances about people that you don't pick up from virtual calls. Like, I got to sit next to Gisela during dinner, and I told Julie right away, I was like, she's one of my favorites. She is so quirky and fun. She brought her own metal straw. Okay. And her own utensils to dinner because she wants to be environmentally friendly. And I love that about her. And she is just so unapologetically herself. And I just remember being like, this girl, she is the gold standard for me. She is so fun and quirky. I love it.
I mean, I guess what I took away from it, though, was the virtual means and, the online connection. It serves a purpose, right? It got all these people connected to one another. It
True.
started it actually is quite amazing how deep of a bond people form from purely doing video chats. Granted, it was over like an extended period of time on a regular basis, which is what we always say when it comes to forming connections with people you don't know. A lot of it is like continuously seeing the same people over and over again to build up that rapport. So I think it did serve that purpose, but I do think that everyone was just so much more dynamic IRL.
Yes, and you feel people's energy and their vibe. I will always remember the conversation we all had at Novella. Okay, I will bring this up again. Shieldy was being her shieldy self, completely hilarious and so much fun. And she brought out this term, dick down. And I think everybody knew what that term meant, except for me, but I pretended I knew.
Oh my God, yes.
But just feeling the vibe of when she said that term, when she was like, let's get, I don't even remember the context, but she said something like dick down. And you feel people's body language change and their energy just sort of like rises. And that's something you don't get virtually. In person, it was just the most hilarious moment and nobody said anything. It was just that moment of energy.
I think that was one of my favorite moments because we had one community member, I won't call him out, that did not know what it meant. And we were all giving him so much shit. And then the next night, we went to dinner, Yue and I and Louise, our event producer, and Yue met my boyfriend for the first time.
Yay! I like him a lot.
Yue admitted that she also didn't know, but she was not admitting it in person. She was like silently in the corner on her phone looking it up, which I think is so freaking hilarious.
I kept thinking like, I'm sure I've heard this term before. No, I haven't. I have no idea what it means. But now I know. And for anybody who doesn't know, you don't have to embarrass yourself by Googling at a gathering. It just means basically getting plowed, right?
I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory.
Kind of. But then someone else made the point. It's like, why wouldn't you say dicked out?
I don't know. Dick down, it's like in
penning it down.
Yeah. I mean, there's songs about getting dick down. I was just shocked that you had never heard that term.
I've never heard that term before, but the day after, I listened to that song, Dick Down in Dallas. It's a country song.
I don't even know that one.
Because if you Google Dick Down, that's the first thing that pops up is this country song called Dick Down in Dallas. And it's about this guy's cheating girlfriend who's getting just fucked in every city. She'd get like anal in Boston and like gangbang in Dallas or some other city, and then she gets dick down in Dallas. I don't know. That's the premise of the song, but listen to it because Now I completely understand what dick down means.
I feel like there needs to be merch that says "Dick Down in Dallas." Like,
Yes.
that'd be a great T-shirt.
Who would wear it out? I'm not sure, but yes. Yes.
Yes. I will say my first meet with Yue and my boyfriend, Yue was super sick, so she could barely talk. And she still managed to grill my boyfriend. She pulled up an app on her phone asking the hard-hitting questions like any true podcaster will do.
Listen, it's not my first rodeo. I've lost my voice before, and I had to use this app called Big, B-I-G, where you type out whatever you need to do, and it comes up as like big font text. So I had lots of questions, and I couldn't use my voice, but I can certainly use text.
And it was quite the experience.
And Julie's boyfriend passed, and he probably thought it was amusing, so therefore I win. Well, I can't go to dinner and meet Julie's boyfriend for the first time and not ask anything.
Yep.
And I couldn't say anything, so, I had to get some information.
So if you all find yourself on a date without a voice, it doesn't mean that you should cancel. You just need to use this app. It won't be weird. No, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. It breaks the ice.
Since we went into a bit about what attractiveness is like, but clearly Paul is the expert, so we'll let him take it away the rest for the episode. So before we get into Paul, should we talk about a few quick announcements?
Yes. So we alluded to this at the beginning of this intro. We are opening up the registration page for our upcoming Finding Your Person program. We will be opening that up on Sunday for early bird waitlisters. It will be open at 10 a.m. PST or 7 a.m. EST. And you only have access to this link if you are signed up for the early bird waitlist, which you can still get on right now. It's findingyourperson.com.
Yep.
Don't miss your chance, because seeing how many people are on the waitlist, there's a high possibility that all the spots will be taken by waitlist before we open it up to the public.
Yep, but of course we will let you know if it is open to the public or if we have a couple remaining. But if you're on the edge, you might as well just get it on the wait list, because why wait and be disappointed later? I think also, if you haven't been tuning into the video series, by joining the early bird wait list, you get access to all of that completely for free. So you can better understand the methodology. You can pick up a few tidbits and exercises. So it's totally worth it for that alone. But obviously, we'd love for you to join the program, because we really feel like this is what's going to get you to where you want to be and put you in that mindset to radiate attractiveness and all the energy and put that into the universe and all that cheesy shit. But it really does work, and it's not just talk, it is action. There's a lot of material in this program, so we are so excited to bring that to you. Okay, let's hear it. Oh,
before Paul, I just want to show everyone, if you're on YouTube, the very last question I asked Julie's boyfriend was this. What do you like best about Julie? Okay. I found, this is the app I use. It's called Big. And his answer was so great. He said, Julie's so easy to talk to. I can just talk to her for hours. And that's what he remembered from your first date, was that you just kept talking and kept talking, just never stopped.
That is true. I love that you memorized that answer, because I just forgot it.
What do you not like about Julie? Bad listening skills. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, now we can move.
Okay, love it.